Well, it's me, Brian. But this morning we're out here in the back 20 looking for parts. And then there's a old Honda. Here's the motor right here. It's a 498cc twin cam, parallel twin, I do believe. Pretty sure it's a Honda. Oh yes, it throws up. 498 cc's. So it's 500. Okay, so this here is somewhere between the 75 and 79 Honda 500 parallel twin frame. That's the motor over there. This is the frame. As you can see, it's pretty much just frame. There's, it's an interesting design. I mean, I'm probably going to try to keep this one, take it up the mountain, see if we can make something out of it. It's got that sleek line, you know what I'm saying? If you put a deep tunnel tank on it right here and a low seat, or maybe a single saddle seat, might put a little short fender on it, you got a killer bobber. You know what I'm saying? Right? Anyway, but today, I'm after the fender. Alright? It's wide enough, it's pretty long, right? So, I can modify it any which way I need to go, whichever I decide, because I don't have a rear fender for the Yamaha. Right? My grandfather told me, boy, if you find something to make it work, right, make it. Right? So that's what I usually end up doing. I only brought a few tools because there's only, standard few tools that you need to work on one of these kind of bikes. Right? 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 13 millimeter, 15 millimeter, right? 13 millimeter socket and this 10 millimeter deep socket, right? 10 millimeter wrench with a pair of line head pliers and wire cutters, pliers, grabbers, and that's about it for what I'm after, because these here are 10s. That's the standard size when you're working on, Japanese something or another. Woo! Look at that. Yeah, you can tell this is a mid-70s model because it's got all this, attachments and accoutrements. Right? I mean, look at this. This is just a tail light, bracket, and tail light license plate bracket. Probably weighs 5 pounds. See, look at that. What the heck? You gotta see the turn signal thing right here, and I don't have a wrench big enough to fit it. It's a good thing. It's a good idea. I try to save the bolts, right? When you're, recycling, right? Just in case you don't have the bolts when, right? That you need. Ow! Oh! Wow! Cheap ass Chinese shoes. We got it loose. Oh man, I gotta get this big ass one. Let's see. Yep, I needed a 17, but I didn't bring one. 17 millimeter. What I'm doing is I'm taking off the turn signal bracket so I can get the fender out. Turn signal bracket. Okay. There we go. Nice shiny chrome rusted Honda rear fender. Wow, look at them brakes. They got a little time caliper right here. 25, 8, 19. That's what I need. We're after the fender. Coming back for the wheel. 485, 13, 485, 18. Yeah. I might have just found me a new set of wheels, boys. Well, this is a nice looking little frame. 1974 500 Honda. Okay, let's review. We got the rear fender off the old Honda bike. There's a few ways I can do, I can do it. I'm saying make it look right. Fit it in, fit it out. I'm saying I haven't decided whether I'm gonna cut off the tail piece yet. I'm saying and make it into like a bobber, right? Or or just cut all the tabs off and make it a brat bike seat, right? But because it's gonna have smaller shocks, it's gonna be lower anyway, right? I'm saying cut off these two tabs right here, right? I'm saying and keep the rail, right? Okay, so then therefore I could either go a couple of different ways with the fender, right? Because this is wide enough. I'm saying it's shaped a little bit different. That's because it's shaped to fit the Honda frame, but I got all the equipment I need right here. Right? So we got a rear fender. Right? I had a front fender already. I'm saying it's more in tune. It's more, right with the rear fender, right? Because they're pretty, it's wider than the old Honda one. Right, and I can modify it a little bit better, and it's already, it's already stamped to fit the front fork. Right, as opposed to the Honda fender. Let me get all keep the nuts and the bolts. As opposed to the Honda fender, you know what I'm saying? It's older, it's thinner. Right, and then it's got more accoutrements because the older the bike goes, the more they overbuilt it. You know what I'm saying? The bracketing's pretty close, right? But you know what I'm saying? I'm probably not going to use this one, right? But I used it to experiment with. You know what I'm saying? Cut, you know what I'm saying? Shape, see what I can come up with, so I come up with a final design for the front fender. All right, so I'm probably most likely going to keep front fender and the rear fender that I got off the old Honda. It's always good. This turn signal bracket holder thing. Mounts on like right here. You know what I'm saying, on the old Honda bike. And I'm gonna cut this off. This morning I'm gonna work on a little car. I'm gonna cut this off and I'm gonna make a spacer right for one of the exhaust flange bolts because it's it's come loose and it's fucked up. Right, so that's why I got this one. That's the latest installment on the Manhattan project, right? I'm probably going to go back out there and get the front wheel, right? Because I need the inner tube that's in the tire because I can't get this one to seal for whatever reason, right? I've tried, a lot. So I'm going to probably go get the front wheel off with the bike out there, you know what I'm saying? And, maybe a few other parts, pieces. I don't know yet because I got out the whole, pretty much everything I need here, right? I'm probably going to, start. I'm probably going to start cutting out the tabs and stuff for the frame. I'm cleaning the frame up. And saying I really don't want to take the engine out. I've said this like 100 times. I really don't want to take the engine out yet. But I want to kind of leave it as a roller, right? So when we move it, so I can move it, get it moved. Now I don't have to lose much parts. That's the reason why I'm going on these parts excursions and looking around. Is I'm collecting parts that I could potentially use, right, in the build of this bike. So basically that's what we're doing here, you know what I'm saying? So, right, be patient guys. I said in the very beginning that this one was going to take time, right? And I got nothing but time. And, apparently some of you have nothing but time. I'm saying any ideas or suggestions, you know what I'm saying, are always welcome, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go a little bit farther, you guys know how, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going to say no, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, you know what I'm saying, it's going to take a little bit to do this. Right, so I'm trying to scrounge as much as I can for free or for cheap, right? Before I get into the whole locked up motor, right? So, thank you. This is me, Brian. Now we're gonna go work on a little car, fix the header.